Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with Nathan A. Webster. I'm your host, Nathan Webster, for this podcast today, and I'm excited to chop it up with you. Guess what? Today, I want to focus on, for episode 40, something different. It's Ryan Reynolds, a struggling actor that has turned to a boss entrepreneur, a cutting-edge marketer that I had no idea until my man Kent Lewis, the godfather of marketing in PDX, just woke me up to this. So what's up, Kent?
How's it going? Always a pleasure, Nathan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all, we are doing something that we traditionally do. We record at once a month, but we're also doing this on video. So if you're not watching this on YouTube, please feel free to go to the link on show notes and watch this on YouTube. If you want to check out what we're about to drop, well, I'm going to say really what Kent is going to drop. So Kent turned me on to this Ryan Reynolds about a couple of months ago. Ken, you talked about in one episode how Ryan Reynolds was a beast. He's sharing the screen right now for those that are watching. As you can see, I had no idea. So as we were talking about a podcast, we were like, why not talk about someone who has no fear, which takes to be a great marketer, knows how to fail, flip it, and turn it into success. So Kent, and again, no cursing, take it away.
Oh man, you're going to throw that on me. I'm going to be burdened with that ability to challenge not to curse. Well, speaking of not cursing, we're probably not going to want to have Ryan Reynolds live on interview because he swears like a sailor, which is what makes him so endearing to me. But we've touched on this before in past podcasts, but I got to say, I'm above and beyond anything else. I would say I would want to be an aspiring comedian. I happen to be an entrepreneur. I'm not an actor. I'm not a producer. I guess you're the producer here in this case. But my point is that Ryan Reynolds, started out, child acting, born and raised in Vancouver, British Columbia, near my hometown of Seattle. So much respect. Vancouver is still one of my favorite cities on the planet. Growing up and going there often, I didn't realize after I traveled the world a bit more that it truly is a remarkable, diverse city. In fact, I noticed early on that it's one of the only cities where you can have a white, Asian, any POC will be the business owner or the cab driver. Anywhere else I've traveled, New York, Chicago, especially in the US, it's a very caste system. You're going to see like Hindus driving cabs in New York. You're going to see African Americans driving cabs in Chicago, but it's all it seems more castish. And Vancouver is far more diverse, which may relate to how I think Ryan Reynolds has a focus on diversity in a lot of different ways. He's got an initiative he's working on to bring BIPOC into the film community, and he does a lot of great things. So he's my man crush, but it's not because of his early acting days. It wasn't until really 2016 when Deadpool came out that I realized not only was it a very funny movie, it was an underfunded movie and it went huge. So they're like, better do Deadpool 2. But I saw the outtakes, and that's when I realized that he is one of the funniest people I've ever seen. He was constantly cracking people up. And so when you look at old outtakes from his other less popular movies, pre 2016, they'll have, if you can find outtakes, they're always going to be hilarious. He does not take himself seriously. Yet he has done some dramatic roles, a lot of good action, but Deadpool is what made him, I think, as an actor, and having done some production work, particularly in Deadpool 2, he stands to do very well financially, and has. As an entrepreneur, he's remarkable because here we are in Portland, and he was at a bar allegedly at an airport, had a gin and tonic, and was blown away by the gin, asked what it was, and the bartender said aviation. I believe this is the story to my recollection. And he's like, huh. So he came out and visited. He ended up buying a major share of the company, perhaps a controlling share. And then a year or two ago, he sold it to Diageo, one of the largest beverage cocktail liquor producers in the world, for $600+ million. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have to act anymore or work anymore. But he didn't slow down. In 2019, he bought a controlling share in Mint Mobile, and transformed their marketing. And he, we'll talk a little bit. Let's talk about, you can go to YouTube to Ryan Reynolds' channel and see all the videos he's done that are also part of his new agency. So he's gone from actor to entrepreneur, and now he's got an agency called Maximum Effort. And a lot of what happened is he was producing his own ads for his own movies. Deadpool initially, Aviation Gin. He did, and you have to watch these. The most innovative was the Peloton ad, where within hours of the Peloton ad getting a bunch of blowback, he reached out to the actress that was in the ad and did a quick, within 36, 48 hours, 72 hours, they filmed a little short ad in a bar where they don't mention Peloton or anything, just that it implies she's had a rough day. So within 2 days, 3 days of that ad, this hit.
This gin is really smooth.
Yeah.
We can get you another one
If you like.
You're safe here. To new beginnings.
To new beginnings.
Wait for it.
There you go. It's gonna be a fun night. There you go. Take this too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You look great, by the way.
So they totally nailed it.
Last time we talked in this.
I'm not down. So Maximum Effort has developed that. The group initiative, I think you'd be really interested in. I'll just do the first couple seconds of this spot about diversity.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds from the same wooden background. Yeah. Today we're announcing something I'm super excited about. It's called the Group Effort Initiative. Now making a movie that, well, it's a group effort. But for entirely too long, that group has systemically excluded Black, Indigenous, people of color, and a whole host of other marginalized communities. So here's what we're gonna do. COVID willing, which is a weird thing to say, I'm gonna be starting a movie this fall, and I'm committing to bringing between 10 and 20 trainees from the BIPOC community and any and all other marginalized communities of all ages. Wait, all ages? Yes, because it's never too late. I myself am actually way older than I appear on set, so you're going to get to see what Ryan Reynolds looks like without the full, beauty makeup. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, these new recruits, they're going to be paid and housed and traveled out of my salary, and they're going to spend their days on set learning from professionals, getting real life experience that they can then parlay into another job, and then hopefully, if they're not too disillusioned, a career in the film industry. Now, this is a long overdue action, but I got to thank Netflix, and I have to thank Skydance.
So you get the idea there, right? So
yeah, that's dope. I mean, here's where I love how you said COVID billing too, because in the Black community, especially the church going community, we say God willing, and
yes, that's right. So he's doing that. But most of the ads that his agency developed were for his movies. Free Guy, new movie coming out. Not sure how well that's going to do. Or his own businesses, Aviation and Mint, Detective Pikachu, and then he has a long-standing faux feud with Hugh Jackman. So let's just take a quick look. We won't. This one's too long.
Yeah.
See, we haven't practiced this yet.
Yeah. So anyway, bottom line is he's done a lot of work with Hugh. They brought that to, I believe, Walmart and did a big challenge, and Hugh Jackman won, which makes me kind of sad for Ryan. I'm sure his ego is mending. But let's talk about some of the press coverage. So
and before you do, because I want to make sure we give some context and background why this is important. So Kent, for those I don't know who you are, please tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and why this is important.
Yeah. So Kent Lewis, founder of Anvil Media, digital agency since 2000. Been in the digital dark arts since 96. And, so I guess I can say I've been an entrepreneur, not including selling, marking up Jolly Ranchers to my high school friends. I started my entrepreneur career in 99, co-founding an agency back then, and moved on from there. So I'm a marketer by trade, an entrepreneur by default. After getting fired a few times, I realized I was unemployable, better do my own thing.
Yo, I know we were just like me and Kim were going back and forth, and then boom, like my computer shut down. So we have some technical glitches. My apologies. I hope you've been enjoying the show. And so without further ado, we're right back to the show.
And then let's talk about all of this work has led to Ryan finishing out 2020 very strong, regardless of COVID. And so, and also because of COVID, his creativity around the Mint Mobile creative as COVID hit is notable within itself. So in August of 2020, Fast Company named Ryan Reynolds one of its most creative people in business for that year, last year. And there's a feature article and it talks about his Peloton ad. It talks about kind of his journey, his creative approach, how he didn't do Superbowl ads, but he piggybacked with giving away more bandwidth for lower cost instead. Really just talking about how he did some really brilliant work throughout the year for a host of brands through maximum effort. So it's a great read. I recommend checking it out. And it is definitely very thorough. So it'll tell you that story as a marketing maven in the Fast Company. Okay, and we can include the link in the deck. And then a little bit later, this is I'm sure this was earlier in the year, but I ran out of access from September. So there was August or the next month. Sorry, so August, September. So this is Ryan Reynolds getting Adweek's brand visionary for 2020. Again, I was calling him the best marketer of the year or of all time prior to all these awards. So they probably were listening to my podcast and listening and reading my articles and and didn't do enough research or whatever. But this is a really good summary that's almost redundant with the Fast Company article on why he is such a genius. But what this article adds, and you can see this if you are an Adweek subscriber, is that he's got these 7 marketing lessons for marketers, which I think is really good read if you can get an access. And then on the 3rd, last week, he was featured in AdAge on how their Mint Mobile ads have super quick turnaround times, like unheard of in the ad industry. Again, innovating turnaround times. Now, keep in mind, he innovated a couple of years ago an ad for one of his movies, Samsung television or TVs, and aviation gin. They call it the turducken of advertising. He had 3 brands in one 30-second ad. Absolutely brilliant. And that was years ago. So he's been building up to this, just bending the ad world and turning it upside down. So you can listen to this brief, and there's a long article here talking about branding and how to do it quick and how to do it right, how to deal with the Super Bowl. And really, this one's focusing on turnaround times and how it's really transforming the creative process. So really interesting, worth a look, and a good read in AdAge. And then today, to keep it real, obviously, when we're recording this, March 9th, is how Ryan Reynolds' marketing agency keeps making viral hits, an entrepreneur of all places. So he's been in the ad magazines, he's been in Fast Company on the business side, and now entrepreneur. Again, all about innovation. And this one covers when he branched outside of his own brands to do work for Match.com with The Year from Hell, is the ad campaign for Match with Satan going on a date. Got a bunch of press for that. And then how they actually plan to do viral. I've been speaking about viral marketing for 20 years, and he's been doing it as a habit, expertly every single time. He learned all this from Deadpool, where they kept taking budget away. So he had to replace props and budgets, props and CGI with what he calls character, creative thinking, but frankly, upping the acting ante and the humor and the tongue-in-cheekness about the whole thing, not taking it too seriously. So this, if you're a marketing creative, an entrepreneur, frankly, even an actor, this is a great article. Full disclosure, there's a lot of plugs here for Aviation Gin. I'm from Portland, it's natural, but one of my clients, Empress Gin, is from his backyard in Victoria, BC, and that's one of our clients. So I got to give them a shout out too, to keep it even.
Ooh, there you
but
go.
No, both are excellent, but only one of the brands is purple. And you can guess that that might be Empress gin because they make it with tea leaves from the Empress Hotel's tea collection. So amazing stuff. But aviation with their ad budgets and real, I mean, the star power is what got them sold to Diageo. So in short, Aviation Gin is fantastic, Portland-based, and Ryan Reynolds helped put it on the map and then sell it for a pretty penny. But I'm still a big fan of Empress Gin out of Victoria, BC, in his own backyard. And so both are worth trying. They're both tasty and lovely. So in conclusion, I would say Ryan Reynolds is reinventing marketing and frankly, in innovating processes, rethinking the agency model, doing all of the above while being an entrepreneur and an actor. I don't think he can make enough Deadpool movies as far as I'm concerned. He can't do enough innovation as an entrepreneur with how he's built Mint Mobile and the marketing around Mint Mobile and Aviation Gin. He's just an amazing dude. I love that he's from my own backyard. He's from the Pacific Northwest, and he represents his focus on the BIPOC community and trying to improve Hollywood is just par for the game for this guy. So I have a free pass with my wife. If Ryan Reynolds is ever interested, I got a free pass. And unfortunately, I had to reciprocate by giving her a free pass with Ryan as well. So it's all good. While we're at it, I'll throw Michael B. Jordan in there, both directions. So it's all good. Again, Ryan Reynolds has set the bar in so many areas that I admire and respect, and roads I've traveled, and he's traveled them better. I think we can learn from him.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you sharing because I didn't know Ryan was this dope in the marketing realm. And, you hear how, especially low budget film, and, I would say Tyler Perry, he has taken and put his own name on things, but he didn't go, of course he had to put his name on it, he had to do marketing, but he hasn't gone outside of film. But Ryan Reynolds has done that, and he's done it with a Marvel, classic, classic. So he's had to, balance that fine line of being him, staying authentic to himself, but also producing results, which is not a easy thing to do. So I'm glad you turned me on to him. Thank you.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me as always, Nathan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so thanks, y'all, for this wonderful podcast. I'm not going to tell y'all how many times we had this issue because you didn't see any. So we're good to go. Kent, for all those folks that want to check you out, please tell the listeners where they can find you and learn more of who you are and what you do.
Yes, the name is Kent Lewis, Anvil Media. You can find the day job at anvilmedia.com. And also you can find me on the Twitter at Kent J. Lewis, on the LinkedIn at Kent Lewis. And I hope you will connect with me on LinkedIn and follow us on the social medias. And I look forward to the next time.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. So y'all, if you didn't catch all that stuff that's on the videos on our YouTube page, so make sure you go to it. I will post it on my socials. And if you don't know the socials, again, it's in the show notes. But I want to say thank you to our podcast sponsor, N-Dub Love. In case you haven't gotten your N-Dub Love gear, we have to ship it out put the order in on the 15th. And so, Kent, I got your hoodie. No, wait, you already got your hoodie.
I got it. It's awesome. My son has actually acquired it and is wearing it. He took it out of my drawer and he loves it. So, and he's a hoodie guy, so it says a lot.
Okay, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I'm getting our shipment in later on this week for those that order. So if you want to order yours, go to ndublove.com. That's NDUBLOVE.com and make sure you put your order in. If that's too hard for you, if you just want to send an email, just go to info@nwebsterllc.com. I'm your host, Nathan Webster. I want to say thank you again for listening from all over the world. Kent, thanks again for joining the show and dropping diamonds. You're the bomb diggity. And with that, y'all, if you haven't already, subscribe and download and shared our podcast on Audible, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher. Please do so. And we wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed.